Ayula, Queen Among Bears, versus Niv-Mizzet the Firemind. Now we've got some artifact removal and some bears in hand, so I don't see why we can't keep that. We won't play this on turn 1 because we want to get our commander into play first. So hopefully it doesn't get burned out. Ayula, Queen Among Bears, is 2 mana for a 2/2. Whenever another bear enters under your control, you get to put 2+ counters on a target bear, or a target bear you control fights another target bear you don't control. Let's go for our commander right now. Niv-Mizzet the Firemind is 6 mana in Izzet for a 4/4 flying dragon. You can tap to draw a card, and whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. Swiftfoot Boots coming out for our opponent. Now let's see, which 3 mana bear do we want to get into? I think we can just go for Vivian's Grizzly. I don't think we're going to be activating that 4 mana ability. But if we want to, we can look at the top card of our library, and if it's a creature card or a planeswalker, then we can reveal it and put it into our hand. Let's put some plus counters on Ayula, and then we'll swing him for 4 points of commander damage. Not always going to put the plus counters on Ayula, but it does put her out of range of burn. And there's a Fevered Visions. We see that in Nekusar typically. Alright, and Nature's Law means that we can go for that first, and then we'll have 3 mana to play with. I think we just go for Universal Automaton. And the plus counters can go on to Vivian's Grizzly. Swing him for 8 damage on our opponent. Now, I don't know how effective this is going to be in Commander on Magic Online, because there's a hell of a lot of bears missing from Magic Online from the much older sets. So I've put as many bears into the deck as I can, but there aren't as many as I would like, certainly. Our opponent isn't doing anything, so I assume they're just holding on to counter magic. Alright, a Thunderfoot Baloth we could go for right now, but I'm worried about counter magic from our opponent. Let's go for Words of Wilding. And that is, the next time you would draw a card this turn, you create a 2/2 bear token instead. We have to put a mana into that. Let's go after our opponent again. 9 damage coming through this time. They can only take 1 more hit like that. And here we go, there's the instant speed. Yep, they're going for Cyclonic Rift. So we can recast our Ayula in the second main phase. And then we draw a card to the Fevered Visions. And I quite like getting into a Skull Clamp actually. We can clamp the Automaton, and that will draw us a couple of cards. A Thran Dynamo from our opponent. I think we need to start paying attention to this Krosan Grip. If they go for their Niv-Mizzet next turn, then no doubt they're going to want Swiftfoot Boots to come onto it. Lifecrafter's Bestiary. Yeah, I think we go for Skull Clamp here. And then we can clamp the Universal Automaton and draw a couple of cards. Tranquil Thicket is another land for the turn. Yeah, let's just play out that land, and then we can go for a clamp onto Vivian's Grizzly. That is more likely to die than our commander is. And then we'll carry on, hitting our opponent. Out comes an Evacuation. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. So we'll allow it, and we are... yeah, we're not going to cast anything now. We're just going to hold on to that Krosan Grip. And we draw into a forest. I don't think we're going to get down that Elemental Bond this game, or the Lifecrafter's Bestiary. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Elemental Bond. Out comes Niv-Mizzet the Firemind. And let's see them try to equip this Swiftfoot Boots. And there they go, so it's time for us to Krosan Grip And we'll get rid of that. They can't counter that because it has split second. And they drew a card with the Fevered Vision, so they get to deal 1 damage to us. We need to see if we can fight our way out of this now. Okay, a Runeclaw Bear and more mana, so yeah, let's go for the Ayula first. Then it's Runeclaw Bear, and that can be target bear we control fights a creature that we don't control. That'll be 2 damage onto Niv-Mizzet. And then 3 mana goes onto the Uvenwald Bear. And we can put 2 plus counters on a creature we control. So let's put Ayula's fight trigger on the stack first. And then we'll put a couple of plus counters onto Ayula, seeing as how that is going to survive. And that gets rid of Niv-Mizzet. And then we might as well... Actually, we're going to draw a card at the end of the turn, aren't we? So let's try and get another bear into play. We'll put a mana into Words of Wilding. And then we draw a card from the Fevered Visions, and that will come in as a bear. Then it's a couple of plus counters on the bear token. I've never seen a bear token like that before. Now our opponent does have 7 cards in hand, so we need to see if we can make something work here. Out comes Solemn Simulacrum, so a chump blocker for our opponent. And a Riverwise Augur. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3, and then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library. Now then, I think it's okay for us to put a mana into Words of Wilding here. We won't draw a card this turn during the draw step, but we will get a bear that enters play. We'll have that fight the River Augur. And then I think it's Thunderfoot Baloth. And as long as we control our commander, that will give our creatures +2/+2 and trample. Put the Skull Clamp onto the bear token. It's more likely to die. And then we've got, what is that, 13 power coming across, and our opponent can only block 2 of it. So that should be that, I think. And yeah, got our opponent down to 0 exactly, thanks to the trample from Thunderfoot Baloth. That was Ayula, Queen Among Bears. And we were up against a control build, Niv-Mizzet the Firemind. Hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Ayula, Bear Tribal. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.